Ageless Remarkable Saint Louisans. For 10 years, we've celebrated the incredible contribution of older adults who redefine retirement. Please join us in honoring the latest class of these dynamic Make-A-Difference seniors who redefine what it means to be ageless and truly remarkable. Bill Ball embodies the concept of lifelong learning. For his 70th birthday, he learned to play the flute. 12 years later, he and his wife began keyboard lessons. A retired professor of computer science, Bill is also involved in genealogy, photography, and videography. He regularly volunteers his time and talents to videotape events and activities at the Willows, creating long-lasting memories for residents and their families. This multi-talented 82-year-old never talks about what he does. He just gets the job done and then looks for his next challenge. We can't wait to see where that curiosity takes him next.
There's so many opportunities to become active, to volunteer, to be involved in organizations, that there's absolutely no reason not to make retirement a wonderful time of life.
Carolyn Beimdiek was waiting in the checkout line at Target when a sales clerk recognized her old Girl Scout leader from 20 years earlier. The girl went on to relate the impact Carolyn had on her life, inspiring her to finish school and succeed. No doubt there are many more young people that Carolyn has touched in similar ways. Through her work as a tutor, mentor, volunteer board member, and advocate, she dedicates her time to proving that anyone can make a difference in life if they just do their part. At age 81, Carolyn demonstrates that every day.
I think I have no illusions about changing the world, but I certainly feel strongly that I can do my share.
Bob Bess got started in politics because there was no sidewalk for his daughter to walk on to school. He decided to fix the problem by running for alderman, and he hasn't stopped fixing problems ever since. Whether during his 40-plus years of public service or as an active volunteer with numerous charities and community events, 82-year-old Bob Bess never says no and never slows down. Best of all, he does it with a smile and a great sense of humor.
My father gave me some advice when I was very small. He said, if somebody can think about it, invent it, build it, and make it work, you ought to be able to take it apart and fix it.
If the young girls at Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club are looking for a role model, they need look no further than Delores Mars, affectionately known as Mama Mars. A longtime supporter, mentor, and board member, 80-year-old Delores is a fixture at the club, chaperoning field trips and parties, fundraising, and sharing her wisdom and experience. There's something about a young person that makes you happy, Delores says. There's a lot about Delores that would make anyone smile.
You can do great things for humanity, whether it's counseling, coaching, tutoring, or feeding the hungry. As long as you do not care who gets the credit, you'll be blessed by God.
She's been called a St. Louis University icon. There's a large conference room named for her, and 2 campus statues have been commissioned in her honor. But Mary Brummer's true legacy is the thousands of students who've benefited from her kindness, her wisdom, and her dedication over a career that spans 56 years. The former Dean of Women and Dean of Student Affairs, Mary, now 92, still volunteers 40 or more hours a week at SLU. Her altruism has extended off campus as well, to community service, educational and cultural organizations and activities. Being around the students keeps me young, she says. Being around her keeps us all inspired.
I learned this from my campus days. Maybe it goes back all the way to my grade school days. Smile often. and let other people know that you love them. That's what keeps me alive.
Growing up during the Great Depression, D.J. Moore was taught the importance of helping those less fortunate than she was. It's a philosophy she's embraced for all of her 91 years. Whether it was starting a service bureau to help the wives of servicemen in World War II, founding the Therapeutic Horsemanship Program to help individuals with disabilities, or serving as a board member for more than 35 organizations, DJ has dedicated her life to strengthening individuals, organizations, and the community. As she sits on the patio behind her Weldon Spring home, she can gaze east across the Missouri River and know that in every direction, there are those who have benefited greatly from her commitment, her leadership, and her generosity.
Well, it's a wonderful thing to be able to have the wherewithal in order to help people. It's great to be able to see a need and fix it.
There's a large room in Bill and Alice Kramer's home that's filled from floor to ceiling with items collected for the annual rummage sale at St. Michael's Church in Shrewsbury. That room is a microcosm of their lives these days, which are filled with good deeds for others. Alice's volunteer work ranges from St. Mary's Health Center and the St. Michael 55 Plus Club to serving as the activities director for the Shrewsbury Senior Club. Bill has been a member of the Clayton Optimist Club for over 50 years and leads many of their fundraising and grant-making activities. Together, at age 81 and 79 respectively, Alice and Bill are living their belief that it's important to give more than you get.
Our incentive for doing volunteer services is bringing some happiness and enjoyment to the individuals who have very little of it in their lives.
Herman Davis practices what he preaches, literally. As an elder at Brotherly Love West Christian Assembly Church, he preaches the Bible message to love one another, which is exactly what he practices, demonstrating his love for others by volunteering as a driver for the church's food pantry and providing handyman services to many widows and single women who need assistance with repairs needed in their homes. At age 84, Herman's cheerful demeanor, helpful nature, and integrity cause him to be well loved by all who know him.
You can always tell if a person does not do very much because that person seldom makes a mistake. And that's not what life is all about.
What's the secret to living well at age 105? Gussie Feehan will tell you it's all about being social. Known as the Grande Dame by her friends, Gussie surrounds herself with people of all ages. She dines out regularly, attends church, volunteers, and even throws her own birthday parties with more than 100 friends in attendance. Daily exercise keeps her body strong, and puzzles and a daily dose of jeopardy keep her mind active. But it's her desire to engage with others at lunch or dinner, at church, or in the halls that keeps Gussie young at heart.
Have a good attitude, laugh a lot, have a lot of friends, keep your mind active. Those are 4 principles. That's what I do.
For the past 11 years, Dr. Norman Freiberger has spearheaded the SSM St. Joseph Senior Dental Clinic, coordinating the efforts of volunteer dentists who serve more than 15,000 patients each year. Norm, age 78, also spends 1 day each week providing dental services to the inmates at the Women's Correctional Center in Vandalia, Missouri. His motivation? We are rendering a valuable service, he explains. We want to give back in order to help those less fortunate than us. This requires a willingness on our part to get out of our comfort zones and step out to help others.
I just try to take things one day at a time, and if you just help one person, it's worth it.
Some people are simply uplifting to be around. Juanita Hartwig is one of those people. A self-professed spiritual person, Juanita regularly shares her time, her dollars, and her infectious personality with others in need. I try to live the scriptures, she says, whether it's counseling the sick, helping with fundraisers, or providing her own funds to give children a healthy smile. Now 83, Juanita even finds time to practice a soft shoe routine for an annual performance at the Willows. The sign over her kitchen sink says it all. Today is going to be another great day.
God's been good, really good. And it's only in giving, that we receive, and I do enjoy giving.
Bob Herman decided St. Louis needed a big event, and the VP Fair, now Fair St. Louis, was born. 3 decades later, he's still at it, recently founding a Veterans Festival in Forest Park that attracted more than 500,000 people. That's par for the course for Bob and his wife, Mary Lee. Together, they've chaired 4 of the region's 5 major cultural institutions, raised hundreds of millions of dollars for charities, and done it all with fun, creativity, and unparalleled success.
If you don't walk through that door, you'll never know what's on the other side.
In the art world, it's the old masters who are most often held in high regard. Virginia Leitner may be giving new meaning to that term. At age 97, Virginia paints every day, creating her own masterpieces that are good enough to be shown in a local art gallery. Even though her career forced her to set aside her canvases for more than 50 years, Virginia never lost her true calling. She began working with local artist Jerry Thomas several years ago and rediscovered her love of painting, which she says keeps her learning and going strong.
I try to learn something every day and being positive. That's my motto.
Mama Phillips. That's what students in the St. Louis Public Schools called the woman who taught them to appreciate art. In the early 70s, her enthusiasm for art increased enrollment in her arts classes at Sumner High School from a few hundred to more than 2,000 students. Later, she helped establish the School of Visual and Performing Arts and supervised all arts programs across the district. Now 87, Billie remains an active volunteer at the St. Louis Art Museum and with Mentor St. Louis, helping the next generations to share her passion for seeing, not just looking.
I used to tell my students at high school, if you can't think of one person that you were kind to just when it was necessary, I said, then you wasted a whole day.
Growing up in Minnesota, Sister Jeanne Meurer was surrounded by 6 aunts, 4 sisters, and 1 strong grandmother. It's no surprise, therefore, that she calls herself a feminist, or that she has dedicated her life to supporting other women of all ages. Helping women who are victims of domestic violence is a special cause for her. She co-founded Woman's Place, a drop-in center in Maplewood for women who have experienced domestic violence. At age 82, she also tutors 2 young students in reading every week. Sister Jeanne says the children give her the energy to keep going. There's no doubt that she's giving back much more in return.
I think it's wonderful to get old. You have more wisdom, I can tell you this. Second or third time around, it's not much easier.
When sick children are admitted to Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center, a calm, reassuring presence can help alleviate their pain and fear. That's where Sister Thelma Mitchell comes in. A retired pediatric nurse, Sister Thelma volunteers 2 days each week at the hospital, bringing information, support, and a loving smile to children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. At age 83, Sister Thelma says helping others lets her feel good about herself, and that gives her the motivation to keep going.
It is only when we reach out to those around us in love, compassion, and service that we fulfill the purpose of our existence.
After retiring in 1982 from his career as a high school and college math teacher, Leroy Sachs admits he didn't know what to do with himself. That did not last long. He got his PhD at age 72 so he could keep up with his educated sons, and started volunteering at a pace that would wear out others much younger than he is. Now, age 94, Leroy volunteers with the Area Agency on Aging, helping seniors prepare their tax returns. Through CLAIM, Citizens Lending Aid to the Insured of Missouri, he helps several hundred seniors a year unravel the complex world of health insurance and Medicare. For Leroy, helping people solve their problems is the type of fun job he's wanted all his life.
Volunteering to me are three things. Helping people solve their problems, that's fun. Making new friends, got lots of them. And getting out of the house.
Glenn Sheffield claims 3 role models in her life. Queen Elizabeth I for her feistiness, the goddess Athena, who was born ready for battle, and the little red hen, who teaches us that you have to share in the work in order to share in the rewards. It's clear Glenn has taken those lessons to heart. At age 76, the former mayor of Webster Groves now spends countless hours serving on volunteer boards and helping strengthen community organizations in the arts, education, and civic arenas. A woman of achievement in 1997 and one-time Webster Groves Citizen of the Year, Glenn, no doubt, is a role model herself.
To take every day as something precious and valuable and something that is to be enjoyed. I think that's what we have to do.
If you want to keep up with Walter Shifrin, you'd better be in shape. A civil engineer and the owner of an environmental engineering firm, Walter is a man in motion at age 79. Whether it's crisscrossing the country to check on work projects, traveling overseas to visit friends and relatives, or walking 18 holes of golf in under 3 hours, Walter always seems to be on the go. He also finds time to raise money for the symphony and the Evans Scholars Foundation. When asked what else is on his bucket list, Walter merely shrugs, saying he hasn't had time to think about it.
Stay healthy, if you can. I think my working is part of that. Working keeps my mind going and keeps me involved.
Throughout her career, Betty Sims has been a systems analyst, business owner, state senator, and appointed public official. By her own account, she served on at least 28 nonprofit boards. She even ran her own potato chip company. You never know when you're going to learn something, she says. Everything is a learning experience. One of her latest pet causes is establishing a mental health first aid training program that has already taught nearly 5,000 Missourians how to recognize and respond to mental health issues. At age 76, she admits she finds it difficult to say no when she's asked for help, which may explain why she's asked often.
And as long as I can participate and do it with enthusiasm, why not?
St. Andrews touches the lives of more than 5,000 seniors each year. The Ageless celebration not only honors the exemplary contribution of older adults, it helps generate funds to care for those less fortunate. We salute our remarkable seniors, and we applaud all of you who have the passion and concern to help St. Andrews provide housing, supportive, and health services through your gifts to the St. Andrews Charitable Foundation. Thank you for joining us in honoring these remarkable St. Louisans.